Why is there no doctor on call? Why? Obviously, there is. Somebody was scheduled for that time. Maybe the person have his own private practice. And you know, as the cost of it is in Nigeria, those people working in government hospital, they have their own personal private practice. Most of them. So when they come into the government hospital, they show their face, they attend to one or two people, they will just zoom out, go to their own private practice and attend to them, which is illegal. You're supposed to finish your shift in the government hospital. You can now go to your own private clinic. The Nigerian Medical Association, they will also tell you they are investigating. At the end of the day, what happens? Nothing will happen. You won't even hear the report anymore because it didn't happen to a rich family. It's always the commoner. And that is why I feel so sad when I see the same people who are victims of the system supporting these same people who are victimizing them. That's where the pain comes from. That's why it's so hurtful when you see them defend them and they do in power. When you see them campaigning for these same people who are hurting them, who are dehumanizing them, who are causing them a lot of pain, you keep wondering what is really happening. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. You know, as my custom was, I used to watch, Arise News, their trending story stuff to know what's going on, across Nigeria. And I stumbled on some of the videos that they, showcase in their program. And it's quite appalling, seeing what's going on in Nigeria, particularly when it comes, to the health sector. First, let's look at the issue of the lady that died as a result of the truck accident involving, Dangote, company, and how the incident, led to her death. And I know that many people have, been part of the process in terms of trying to see how the company will be able to take care of the victims and compensate the families and all that. My focus is on why this whole stuff is happening. This issue of Dangote Truck, involving an accident, this is not just the first time. It happens over and over again, not just in Auchi. It happens both in Lagos. We have had cases of even container falling and killing people on the bridge and stuff like that. So most of these things happen because the kind of governance system that we have in the country. There's no government. That's just the honest truth. Because if it's a country where the laws are functional, the laws are well implemented, most of these things in the world of today will not be happening. Now, I would like to present this issue in two ways or in two forms. First, I will tell you what happened in Nigeria and what happened in US, almost similar circumstance. And then we'll be able to see why what is happening in Nigeria is happening and why it's not happening in other, climes. Let's, watch this video and then we'll see what the actions the company has taken. And then we'll come back to look at the other side of it. All right, let's take a look at this video. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
To look at a heartbreaking story, Fina, the winner of Big Brother Niger Season 7, has announced the death of her sister, Ruth Otagbo, who passed away following a trucking accident. The incident occurred on August 14th near Auchi Polytechnic in Edo State, leaving Ruth with severe injuries, including an amputated leg and other head and hand injuries. The Dangote Group, whose truck was involved in the accident, had previously pledged to provide comprehensive medical care and compensation to support her recovery. Despite the company's pledge, Fina confirmed her sister's death through a legal document she posted on Instagram. On Sunday, August 31st, the family has requested privacy to grieve and stated that funeral arrangements will be communicated to the public later. The Dangote Group has released a statement, and it reads, "We are deeply saddened by the passing of Ruth Otagbo, who was injured in the recent road incident involving one of our trucks in Auchi, Edo State. On behalf of the entire Dangote Group, we extend our heartfelt condolences to her and her family, friends, and loved ones at this difficult time. Since the accident, our officials and insurance partners have been by her side, covering all financial and medical costs and supporting her family. Arrangements had been made for her to be flown to India for advanced treatment, pending medical clearance from her doctors. Sadly, despite these efforts and Ruth's brave fight to live, we lost her today. At Dangote Group, safety, accountability, and compassion remain the core of our operations. We remain committed to strengthening our safety systems and supporting those affected in moments of tragedy. May God grant her mercy and eternal rest." This was signed by the management of Dangote Group yesterday. I received this statement. But this is such a heartbreaking story.
All right, well, welcome back. You had it. The lady was involved in the accident by a Dangote truck. One of her legs was amputated. And after some days, she couldn't take it anymore. She gave up the ghost. And then the company just issued a statement, of a condolence, statement to the family and all that. So, but At the end of the day, he dies there. Highest, just like they said, they're going to take care of the family and the children she left behind and all those kind of stuff. But the fact is that what it is? Is it all about taking a life so that you can take care of the children she left behind? So this is the question. And why is the government allowing this kind of things to happen? In other climes, when incidents of this happen, they hold people accountable. That is the difference. Now, because of copyright issues and the way things work abroad, I would have played the video, but no, I will just give you guys a summary of what happened, similar circumstance, and the action that we are taking. Now, in Florida, right, there was a truck driver. I think it was an Indian origin or something. But according to the report, that is an undocumented immigrant, which means it probably did not enter the country in a legal way. So he was driving a truck. And then on the highway, he did a U-turn in a place that U-turn is prohibited. And then, based on the U-turn he did, there were accidents. 2 victims died on the spot. One of the drivers was taken to the hospital. After a day or so, the driver also passed on. So we lost 3 people for that careless U-turn the driver did on that highway. So what happened? When this incident happened, the truck driver, he survived. What he did, he ran away from Florida and ran to California, where they tagged Sanctuary City. Sanctuary City is kind of place that there are some states that are called sanctuary cities. So a lot of laws are relaxed in those states. So there are some things you do, you go scot-free, the law will let you go. So he ran there kind of to take cover, all right, so that he will not be prosecuted based on, say, he is in California, a sanctuary state. But guess what? The shocker was that the lieutenant governor of California, in Nigeria, they call them deputy governor, right, followed the team of operatives down to California to extradite the guy. They picked him up in California and extradited him back to Florida so that he will face the law and face trial. So there's quite a whole lot of questions coming out in that incident. And one was that, being an undocumented immigrant, how did he get access to have CDL, commercial driver's license, right? How? On what basis? 2, he doesn't understand or speak English fluently, so how will he read the road signs? So you can see the reasons why he's not even qualified in the first place to have a driver's license. And there's kind of, would I call it a law, a policy, that for you to be a trucking driver in America, you must know how to read and write English. You must, so that you can interpret road signs. If he was able to interpret those signs, he would have seen that in that place there's a sign that said no U-turn. So he wouldn't have done U-turn. And people that are going to work and going to their different destinations. So before they could see what was happening in front, there was clashes of a vehicle. So the truth of the matter is that the guy was picked up in California. The deputy governor was even the one, or the lieutenant governor, as they call it here in the US, was even the one who ushered him into the aircraft, and they flew him back to Florida so that they will face the law. That is a country where the system works. Now in Nigeria case, you can see what happened. Where is the truck driver that drove that truck? Where is he today? Nobody knows. Who has held him accountable? Nobody knows. Did he even have driver's license? Nobody knows. And the fact remains that most of these truck drivers, most of them don't have driver's license. The security operatives who are on the highway, who are supposed to check these things, apprehend them and all that, when they stop them, they collect money from them and they let them go. They don't even check whether they have driver's license or whatever. They let them go. So some of these people, they have no driver's license, they have no driving experience, they just move the truck and that they go. So these are the problem. What is the company policy to ensure that their drivers are well trained and that they undergo continuous training? How many of the drivers can even read road signs? Even in Nigeria, how many places, how many roads, how many highways have road signs? That is the point. So there's no road infrastructure. Most of the roads you see, they build the road, no market. They just leave the road just like that. You can't hand over a road that doesn't have infrastructure. You first do the marking, you first put the speed limit and other road infrastructure. If there's sharp bend, you put there's sharp bend here, slow down, market, there's school, there's hospital. You put all the necessary infrastructure. All these things are what guides the driver to understand the road signs and what is ahead of him. So you look at the 2 scenarios. So in Nigeria, the deputy governor of Edo State is supposed to even be the one leading the charge to arrest the driver and other. You can see that in the US. You can see the lieutenant governor flew to California with his operatives to arrest this guy and to face the law. So in Nigeria, it doesn't happen because nobody cares. Nobody cares. The officers, the security operatives are supposed to uphold the law and implement and enforce the law. They are even the worst lawbreakers. They collect bribes, let the person go. They do as if they don't even see what happens. They only enforce the law when it involves a high-profile citizen. Maybe the minister is passing and somebody drives somehow. That's when you see them bash your car, block you, arrest you, beat you on the road and things. That's when you see them. But to implement laws is a problem. So there's no reason why this kind of incident will happen and this girl will just die like that. Just like that. What is holding them to fly her abroad? To go and treat her and make sure that she survives. So I don't know, they may have made some effort according to what they posted, but the fact remains that they should stop employing those who are not qualified to drive, those who cannot read road signs. They should stop employing such people. Train your drivers, train them very well, and make sure that they have consistent training programs. So assemble all Dangote drivers and check how many of them that have a valid driver's license. Some of them, they are almost have expired 2 years ago. They are still driving truck. So these are the issues. So where is our government? Because Nigeria have laws, but the implementation of those laws, enforcement of those laws is the problem. So where is the place of the government? Edo State government, what have they done when this thing happened in Auchi? What did they do? That is the question. What have they done? It is the family, the sister of the lady that was fighting with very dark man and all those people, trying to see how they get justice for the lady. So in a developed country, they will sue Dangote industry. They will sue that company. They will sue the company. The demand for adequate damage is not the issue of they will take care of the children. No. Then by the time they go to the court, and court will find them millions of naira to pay. And the family, they pay the money in a trust. And the family can take care of the children she left behind. So if Dangote company is saying, no, we'll take care of the children, this, that, whatever they agree with the family, they should create a trust and put whatever funds that need to be spent on these children in that trust. And from the trust, the trustee will begin to administer these funds to this. Not that tomorrow management changes in Dangote industry, they will change the rule. No. So all these things should have a legal platform through which it will be administered. That is what it is. So Nigerians should wake up to be able to do what is right, implement the laws, make sure that anybody that breaches the law is held accountable. That is why abroad works. There's no magic in abroad. Abroad only works because people are held accountable for their actions. That's what it is. So the guy in California, obviously by the time he finishes his prison term, he will find himself back to his home country. That's for sure. So that's what it is. Taking lives of 3 Americans. And this one is something in Nigeria. Nothing will happen. The company will just do what they want to do for the family and that's it. Nothing else will happen. The company goes scot-free. The driver that created this chaos goes scot-free. The company goes scot-free. Nothing happens. And that's quite sad. All right. Now let's move into the health sector now. The sad news that came from Akwaibom is the death of a pregnant woman who was at the hospital for emergency C-section. All right. And what really happened was, according to the sister, that when they came in, they said there was no doctor. And they spent 3 hours waiting for a doctor to come and attend to the woman who is in a critical condition. At the end of the day, by the time they were able to, attend to the woman died and the baby also died. So the lady was crying profusely, trying to, alert the governor, look at what is going on in the state where you govern. And it was a sad story to hear that because the kind of negligence and the way people don't value life in Nigeria is quite terrible. Anyways, let's listen to the lady. Let's watch this video and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Now we head over to Akwaibom State now, where the government has opened an investigation into the 2 deaths of a mother and her newborn child after a C-section at the General Hospital in Kotekpene. It comes after an incredibly emotional video shows the woman's sister, Ndifreke Amos, telling the story of what happened. Well, according to Amos, she brought her sister to the hospital for an emergency C-section, but was told that no doctor was available for over 3 hours. As a result, neither the baby nor the mother received any medical attention within that time frame. Let's take a look at the video before we come back for a discussion.
Doctor was not on seat, Doctor was not on duty, This is an act of negligence, Doctor was not on seat, My sister was bleeding. She was due for CS. There was no doctor to operate her. She is dead, Governor, why not? And we open the theater. I didn't get here with additional 3 hours. The operator after the CS now the baby died. 2 minutes later, when the baby died, the doctor, at that 10 minutes, they now look for another pile of blood. They did not see it in the whole of this hospital. The doctors neglected my sister and she died. Doctors of General Hospital
All right, welcome back. So you heard what the lady was saying. I have not seen this kind of thing happen before. When you come to developed countries, they value life more than they value any other thing. And that is the reason why when you go to the hospital here, just provide your ID and they take care of you. You don't need to deposit one kobo. They take care of you. When at the end of the day, when your bill is completed, they send your bill to your address and you begin to pay off whatever bill that you got. So for those who have insurance, very easy. They send bill to insurance. Insurance take their part. They send your part to you. You pay. For those that don't have insurance, they still treat you and then they send the bill to you. The difference is that the whole bill will be borne by you because you have no insurance. So, but in our country, even when you don't have 5,000 to deposit, nobody cares. They will not attend to you. So when you ask them, they say, oh, they are just doing their job. The company is not their owner. No, that's not the way things work. Value of life should be the priority. And that is what this medical practitioners swore to uphold. The value of life. I know the hospital is not your own. I know you are not the owner. But that is not the point. The point is you need to have record. That is why as a country, there should be proper identification of citizens. Even visitors, even those who are migrants, that should have proper ID, proper address and all that. So that wherever you are, you can be able to be tracked. So when people are not treated because they don't have money to deposit at the hospital and they lose their life, of what benefit is it to the system? Of what benefit is it to that hospital? That is the question that we need to answer. In developed countries, if like that woman that is pregnant, for example, if she doesn't even, have, whatever means to pay any bill, just walk into the ER. They will admit you immediately. Doctor will attend to you. She will deliver her baby safe and sound. They will give her all the treatment that she deserves. At the end, after the birth, if she doesn't have insurance, there are some NGOs that support, some people to pay. Even those undocumented migrants that came into the US, even government was paying for them. That's the truth. So the fact is that the value of life should be a priority, not the money. When you treat the person that is alive, the person can be able to pay. Here in America, for example, if you are owing $5,000, you only tell the hospital how you will be paying. If you have to pay $300 per month, you just tell them you'll be paying $300 per month, and that's it. You'll be paying until you offset the bill. So it's not anymore that you must pay the money in bulk. So you can pay instrumentally, but you must be consistent in your payment. That's the way it works. So most of the people here, you go sick, you call an ambulance takes you to the hospital, to ER, and they treat you and stuff like that. When your bill comes, you start paying gradually until you offset your bill. As far as you are making the normal payment every month, you have no problem with that. So why should they insist that somebody must deposit money? I remember a story of a man who also lost his pregnant wife because they were unable to deposit, is it 500K? Because he doesn't have it. And the woman died. This is another scenario again in Akwaibom now. So why should this thing continue? And you now see the reason why we are championing that building bus terminal in the geopolitical zone is not the priority of the country. The health sector is in a dilapidated situation. No health personnel, no healthcare facility, building is already in shambles and other. Why not move that 142 billion naira that you are putting in a bus terminal in the geopolitical zone? Use it to revamp primary healthcare centers. Use it to revamp, government hospitals and stuff like that, so that you can bring down maternal mortality, because that is what is contributing to child and maternal mortality across the globe. Nigeria is one of the country that produces these highest numbers. So why shouldn't we prioritize what we do? Things that can change the lives of the people, things that can improve the life and welfare of the people. But we chose coastal highway. We chose, what do you call it? A bus terminal. I don't get it. Is it a priority? We just lost two people now. The mother and the child, that's one. The lady that died for the accident, that's two. There's another lady that also lost her twins because she couldn't pay 28,000. So when you look at this whole scenario, you keep asking yourself, where are we going from here? So the other lady, let me just sum everything together. So let's look at that lady. She was pregnant, and I think the baby died in her womb. So she went to the hospital. They checked her out and said the twins has died, but they are still in her womb, and they need to flush the baby out. They asked her that she has to pay 28K, but she doesn't have it. They still push her out of the hospital, and she was walking around the street on how to raise 28K before a good Samaritan saw her. By the time they get back to the hospital, and make the deposit, they say the baby is gone. The babies are dead, and they are even decaying already in her womb. Now imagine the implication of what this kind of situation can cause to her. It can make her lose her womb, which means it will not bear children anymore. So all this kind of attitude that we see going on in hospitals is really, really unbecoming. If there's issues with the baby and other, admit her immediately, flush the baby so that you can protect the mother. Since the children are, the babies are no more, you protect the woman so that she can be able to conceive in the near future, right? You take care of the woman first, because it's always like that. But no, go get the money first. 28K. She lost her twin, and if this good Samaritan didn't even come in when she came in, maybe she would have lost her womb as well, if not alive. So you can see what is going on. We leave the priority sectors we should be focusing on, and we are focusing on sectors that is adding little or no value to the system, to the welfare of humanity. I don't see how I will choose bus terminal when I have hospital problems. I can't see why I will choose that. So investing 142 billion in this hospital will go a long way to revamp this kind of hospitals. Now, why is there no doctor on call? Why? Obviously there is. Somebody was scheduled for that time. Maybe the person have his own private practice. And you know, as the cost of me is in Nigeria, those people working in government hospital, they have their own personal private practice. Most of them. So when they come into the government hospital, they show their face, they attend to one or two people, they will just zoom out, go to their own private practice and attend to them, which is illegal. You're supposed to finish your shift in the government hospital. You can now go to your own private clinic. If you have your own private clinic, there is nobody here in America that will be on a shift as a doctor for 8 hours, for example, and we leave that shift in that hospital to go to another place. It's not done. Just know that your license will be gone if anything goes wrong. So these things happen in Nigeria because there's no accountability. There's no sanction. So the doctor does that, goes scot-free, nothing happens. But if it's in abroad, where they will take your license and then disgrace you out of the medical profession, because what you just did was against the oath of office that you took, the oath of service, the ethics of the job. Your job is to protect life, to save lives. But if your actions is not saving lives, then you have negated the oath of service that you took. So why will they chase the woman out to go get 28K first before the flushing? But save her life first. So that's the way things work abroad. And that's why you see them live longer. They care about life. So I don't know why all these things happen in our country and nothing happens. Now the governor is saying, oh, they are investigating it. What are you investigating? Huh? The Nigerian Medical Association, they will also tell you they are investigating. At the end of the day, what happens? Nothing will happen. You will even hear the report anymore because it didn't happen to a rich family. It's always the commoner. And that is why I feel so sad when I see the same people who are victims of the system supporting these same people who are victimizing them. That's where the pain comes from. That's why it's so hurtful when you see them defend the nonsense that they do in power. When you see them campaigning for these same people who are hurting them, who are dehumanizing them, who are causing them a lot of pain, you keep wondering what is really happening. So I see no reason why a hospital or a state will not have a policy that guarantees that anybody that comes to the hospital, treat them first. Treat them first and then demand for your bills. Yes. And the government can, intervene when the bills are not paid. The government can pay it. It's their citizen. There's no big deal about that. But you need to save your population. You need to save your people from this kind of negligence. So in a same climb, that doctor who is on call, because there's roster for the day, any doctor that is on call within that time and is not on seat, is not on duty, he has so many explanations to make and he has his license to be taken out. That's the truth. So because when you start holding people to account, you see people sitting up, you see people learning to do what is right. But in Nigeria, they don't hold people accountable. People do all kind of shit and they go scot-free and nothing happens. So the law only works when it's a poor man that has done that same thing that the rich are doing and going scot-free. That's where you see the law working. So it's quite unfortunate that we are in this kind of system in 2025. We are still talking about people going to hospital, they don't receive care, they die. Do you know what death means? You know what it means to lose your loved ones? Especially when it's on a careless circumstance. That's terrible. That's a pain that cannot leave the family. because the person would have survived. The woman in Akwaibom would have survived with her baby if there was a doctor that rushed her, to the theater and do the needful. When they came in, she has chances of survival. And I heard the woman talking about blood, that there's no blood in the whole entire hospital. So I don't get it. There are blood banks. I don't know. I don't really understand. Is it demons that control our country? I don't know. Now somebody needs blood in the hospital. There is no blood. And we have blood banks. And there is always a period they do blood donation. And people voluntarily on their own walk into the hospital to donate blood. Where are all those bloods? What is going on? When a woman goes into surgery, what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to have known the blood group and be able to procure the blood and keep. They don't need the families to bring money for the blood. All this thing will come into the bill. I had this kind of experience in the past. They want glove. They asked me to bring money for hand glove, for syringe, money for cotton wool, money for blood. They will write the list. My sister was the one running up and down from one place to another to go and get syringe, to go and get hand glove, to go and get cotton wool for a hospital, government hospital. It's unfortunate. You can't see those kind of things abroad. For what? Just tell them what your problem is. The doctor decide what you need to do for you. You need scan, you need anything, you need blood work. They do everything. Your record is on the system, and there you go. So it's unfortunate what we are seeing in 21st century. People are dying like chicken. They lose life. Before, when people come to hospital with a gunshot wound, they don't even treat them at all. For what? Even if it's a criminal in abroad, even if it's a criminal that police shot, the same police who shot him will give him first aid and call ambulance for him and take him to the hospital. But the difference is that he will be on handcuff to the bed while he's taking treatment so that he doesn't escape. They will treat him first, restore him, make sure he's alive, hale and hearty. Then he will now face the crime that he has committed. It doesn't matter how many people he has killed, they will take care of him abroad. So why is it in our own country, somebody had a gunshot wound, whether it's a victim or the main criminal himself, they will deny you treatment? I think there was so much outcry before they now say, oh, hospital can treat them. They are still human beings, even though they committed a crime. So we should begin to think on the need to save humanity. So that is the way we should think. So it's unfortunate that we are still seeing this kind of thing happening in our everyday life. So government have a lot of work to do. Enforcement of our laws is critical to economic development. When people do all kinds of things, violate the laws and go scot-free, what are you expecting? And any investor that want to come to your country, we look at the rule of law. How is it working? We look at security. How is it working? Because if you have a case and goes to court, is it guaranteed that we get justice? These are the things. So, it's our own work. That's a story for another day. So, guys, I don't know, but I think what is coming from our own country is disheartening to see, especially when it comes to health sector. So, governments should begin to redirect their resources to critical area of development, the health sector, the education sector, the road infrastructure, power. These are the core critical areas you should be looking at. And when I say road infrastructure, I'm not talking about creating new coastal highway, spending trillions of naira when the internal roads people use on daily basis are bad and dilapidated. They are not functional. So why create new ones instead of fixing the existing one that people are using on daily basis? When you are done with that, you can now start creating some other new roads. That's the way things work. This is a country where they will do a video to show the Minister of Works that there's a bad road somewhere. That's ridiculous. The moment there is winter, right? The snow, most of the time the snow, spoils the road and all that. The moment winter stops, you see construction coming on the roads, fixing all the roads where, who told them? Nobody did video to come and show them that this road is bad. They know their job. They do assessment of these roads and mark the ones that need to be fixed immediately. The moment the winter ends, you see them fixing the roads. Nobody does video to come and be showing them this road is terrible. Please come and fix this bridge. Nobody. They conduct integrity tests because there is a maintenance culture. It's only in Nigeria that we don't have maintenance culture. You build a bridge, you forget the bridge there for 50 years, no maintenance, until the day it collapses. So it's quite crazy. And you see billions and billions and billions and trillions of naira budgeted every year. Where are these monies going to? Where are the monies? The state government is getting so much resources now because subsidies have been removed. Where are the monies? What are they doing with the money? Including the federal government. What are they doing with that money? That is the question we're asking. So we need to be seeing changes in all these sectors, these important sectors. We need to start seeing changes. So sit down, look at how to fix this thing and begin to fix them. We can't continue like this, that people go to hospital, there is no doctor to attend to them. Would you blame most of the doctors? They are not well paid. Most of them who are even working, they are owing them salary. That's why you see most of them look for visa and depart. They jackpot from the country, where their services is valued and appreciated. A whole counselor is any more than a doctor. A counselor who doesn't even have WAEC is any more than a medical doctor who spent almost 8 years in school, plus housemanship. So what are we talking about? Politician is any more than a professional. A professor in the university is earning less than 1 million a month. But go and check what a councillor, local government councillor is earning, not to talk of local government chairman and all these things. That's not a working system. It's not a working system. So these are the things we need to understand. Our Nigerian nurses now, everybody is jackpotting abroad. I don't blame them. Go where your services is needed and where your services is valued and paid for. That is the truth. People are doing different courses in their life so that they will earn better income and improve their lives. That's the truth. So if Nigeria is not paying them well, that's why you see everybody moving. A lot need to be done. Now they are talking about increasing salaries of politicians, right? That's what they are talking about. But the key professionals who hold the system, what is happening to them? Nothing. The professors who teach in the universities and who do all the research work and stuff like that, how much is their pay? Lecturers, how much is their pay? Medical doctors, how much is their pay? Nurses and midwives, how much are their pay? How much? And other professionals. So, but the politician will be earning millions of naira every month just for being a politician. Guys, I'm going to let this slide here. So I don't know what you may think about this whole thing, but for me, it's disheartening. So my comment section is open for you to drop in your comment at the comment section. And don't forget to like and share, this video. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and also put on your notification bell so that when my next video drops, you'll be among those to be notified. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Do have a wonderful day. See you. I'm signing out.